morning, everyone, and welcome to the Great Morning News. Today's date is March 22nd, 1902. The greatest new invention is the vacuum cleaner, which saves you so much time. You pound it into the ground, and there it is, available at your local hardware store. The sucker sucks away all your problems. Anyways, here's Riley to present today's topic.
Thanks for that introduction, Payton. Now that the Victorian era has come to an end, our topic will be the recent killers in London. Some of these horrible people thought that what they were doing was the right thing, but when is killing people ever the right choice? We all understand that those years were filled with a large population of people living in a small space that was too small to fit everyone. So, some killers including Amelia Dyer, Jack the Ripper, and Mary Ann Cotton chose to help decrease the population. Payton is going to start us off with Amelia Dyer.
Amelia Dyer was a cruel lady. She would adopt babies, get 5 pounds, and kill them. Next, she would throw them into rivers or bury them in her yard until they decomposed. This way, there would be no chance of them being traced back to her address. She was very calculating.
The general public called Amelia insane for all of the innocent children that she murdered. One time, she murdered 6 babies in one day. However, her average was 6 babies a week. She also murdered 1 newborn per month. Overall, she assassinated 400 children within 30 years before she was caught.
Finally, at the age 56, Amelia Dyer was arrested for her crimes. Martina Cole, a Victorian expert, stated, "In 1896, Amelia's Dyer career caught up with her. The body of a baby she had murdered and thrown into a river was traced back to her address."
Thank you for coming in today. What is your name?
Excuse me, yes. My name is Mr. Jacobs.
What do you think about Amelia Dyer?
Amelia Dyer, I think is a horrible woman. I've heard she's killed so many babies. This is just not right.
I agree. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Now let's move on to the well-known murderer, Jack the Ripper. For 3 months in 1888, fear and panic haunted the streets of London's East End.
During these months, 5 women were murdered by him. Some believe there was as many as 11 women murdered.
All of the women that Jack the Ripper killed were prostitutes. The historic UK announced, "The 30th of September was a grim day. The Ripper carried out 2 murders within 2 minutes of each other." Clayton, what do you think about Jack the Ripper?
Well, personally, I think that he probably scared a lot of people, pretty much all the women in Victorian times, because he only killed women, which is kind of strange. But also the fact that they couldn't really find out why he was killing them, just that he killed them. I personally think he was just insane.
Thank you for your input. What do the 2 of you think of Jack the Ripper?
We think that he was a completely crazy man, and we have always wondered how he managed to avoid all those police that were clogging up London.
But many of the police weren't trained properly or not doing their job correctly.
Guys, what's your input on Jack the Ripper?
I think it's terrible that he killed 5 prostitutes in just a few months.
Yes, I think he had something against them to kill them in a matter of months.
Thank you. Next, moving on to the next assassin, Mary Ann Cotton. Her method of murder was easiest for female murderers to adopt: poison. She generally used poison called arsenic, which in those days was readily available.
Mary Ann was raised by a religious father who died in a mining accident. Later, Mary Ann's mother remarried, and she began to hate her mother's new husband. Cotton herself was married and widowed 4 times. As it was later determined, Cotton was poisoning and killing her husbands with rat poison, called arsenic. This is a picture of the arsenic that Mary Ann Cotton used. Her nickname became the Black Widow.
Mary Ann's first husband was William O'Bray, whom she married in 1852 and killed in 1865. Doctors say he died from intestinal disorder. Mary cashed in a life insurance policy and received 35 pounds. Her second love was George Ward, whom she married in 1865. He mysteriously died in 1866 from health issues. She immediately cashed in his life insurance policy. Her third husband was James Robinson. She married him in 1867. Mary thought he was the best husband to kill because of his wealth, but James got suspicious when she kept pleading for him to get a life insurance policy. After James found out that Mary Ann had been stealing money from him and pawning valuable items, he became angry and threw her out. She lived on the streets until her 4th husband came along, Frederick Cotton. They got married in 1870, and he died in December of 1871. Mary got rid of anyone who she didn't like or who stood in her way. Also, she killed people with a lot of money.
When the police found out about her crimes, she was hung in 1873, and she was just 40 years old. After people found out about Cotton, they made a nursery rhyme about her, and it went like this.
Mary Ann Cotton, dead and forgotten. She lies in her bed with her eyes wide open. Sing, sing, oh, what can I sing? Mary Ann Cotton is tied up with a string. Where? Up in the air. Ceiling, black buttons, a penny up hair.
What do you think about Mary Ann Cotton, Tyler?
I think she's partially insane, and since her father died, she must be really miserable, and she has to live by herself on the streets. She also married 4 husbands, and she's a bit of a cougar.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for coming in. What is your name?
Is that on? My name is Mr. Markwell.
What was your impact that Amelia Dyer had on you?
Okay, you're talking about the butcher lady, the kids and all that? Oh, boy, I tell you, I hear she's just pure evil. And that, I don't know her too well. All I know is what they put in the newspapers. And what they put in the newspapers is that she was somebody who thought she was doing good things for adopting babies, and then she would kill them, trying to reduce the population. But I also hear that she was, in her mind, sending them to Jesus. And I guess what they tell me is that she might have killed as many as 400 children or 400 babies. And I tell you, that just makes me sick.
Thank you for your input.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Good morning.
Okay, so we brought you in to ask you a few questions about Mary Ann Cotton. What was your input on her?
Well, the story was really shocking when I first heard about it, obviously. I thought it was quite a tragedy. But there's something in her, I thought there was something in her childhood that led her to this, or that it spoke of our poor system for helping people who have mental issues, because obviously she must have had some sort of mental issues, or there was something in her childhood that deeply caused her to be disturbed and therefore act out this way, and there was nothing to stop her from behaving this way or no one to give her help.
Okay, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
As you may have noticed, Victorian times were full of hardship, but hopefully moving on to a new century and time period, life will get better.
Thanks for watching today's episode of the Riley Morning News.
Tomorrow we will be discussing corsets. If you don't know what corsets look like, please watch the following ad. Best corsets in town, at your service. They are so beautiful. Every woman and some men want the corsets. La 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 la. Get your corset today. Corsets make this tummy this. Yay!